students, welcome to another episode this week of The Gathering IRL, TM, just for breath's sake. I'm super excited about today's episode because I have invited our executive pastor, also known as my boss, also probably most importantly known as Jackson's dad.
Jackson's dad.
That's probably the most important title that he holds. But super excited to have Ryan on with us today, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Because what you may not know about Ryan is Ryan was actually, before he was an executive pastor here at the Summit, he was a student pastor for how many years?
10 years or so?
10 years working with middle school and high school students. So it's awesome to have Ryan with me as I kind of figure this stuff out, because Ryan is really good at telling me that's a good idea or that's a really bad idea. And so today what we're going to do is have a little bit of fun and talk about maybe some of the bad ideas that we have done in student ministry.
There have been a few, right? There have been a few, yeah.
The actual title of this is I Should Have Been Fired. Now, what I told Ryan is I won't actually tell the story of the 2 times I actually was fired. So we'll avoid those 2 stories. But we're going to have some fun today. But we're going to start with an icebreaker question. In Ryan fashion, Ryan has picked the icebreaker question because really today, Ryan is hosting, not me.
That's right. Welcome to my podcast. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'm going to let you pick the icebreaker question because I want to be in charge of the way this conversation
Totally
goes.
fair.
So here we go. Icebreaker question, okay. Matt Kelley. If you could program a robot to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you have it do?
Wow, there are. I think clean the house. Like I've got a iRobot vacuum.
Yeah.
And
it's a taste,
like
right?
the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
And it's just on my first floor. I'm trying to figure out how I can get him, build him a ramp to go up to the second floor.
I'm with you.
I don't think it's going to work, but I think just in general, it feels like a super lame answer, but clean the house would just be.
So I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
And that's actually what I was thinking of when I read this, but I'm going to get more specific. I would say I want my robot to put away the clean laundry.
Okay.
So
you've got kids. That's understandable.
Kids, there's laundry everywhere. We do laundry every day, it seems like, and there's always piles of clothes. I'm like, it's so much work to open the drawer and put this stuff in. It would be nice if someone would do that for me or something. That's what I have.
So growing up, my dad is slightly OCD, and he did the laundry for us growing up. And the deal was if we didn't put away our laundry within 12 hours of it being done, the next time the laundry returned to us unfolded.
Hey.
Which is actually kind of bit him because we were just like, that's fine.
Just dump it.
It's fine. I'll just pick it out of there. It's no big deal. So it actually kind of backfired on him. But it was a good try.
Well, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, apparently, because my mom did our laundry, folded our laundry, put our laundry away, all the way up to college, Matt.
Oh,
I came home for the weekend. My mom did my laundry. It was awesome. Hey, just a word of advice. When you're picking your college, go close to home so you can come drop your laundry off for your parents. It's so awesome.
My dad did my laundry all the way through college too. No shame. And actually, our first apartment, Caitlin and I lived in, the laundry machines were so terrible, we went over to my parents' house on Sundays to just use theirs.
Do your laundry?
We weren't going to pay for it for crappy laundry. So.
Well, I remember in college, I would meet my mom halfway. So I went to William Jewell, Lee Summit. We'd meet in Independence.
Yep.
I'd give her the laundry. She would take it home. I would go back to school. And then on Sunday afternoon, I'd come home and have dinner with my family and pick up the clean laundry. I'm like, that is so amazing. And then when I got married, I realized that I had to help with that, which I am glad to do, honey.
Uh-huh. Did mom exchange leftovers with you for the laundry? Because that would be a great.
That would be awesome.
She gives you food, you
know.
And then,
I'll take it all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. So enough about our laundry. This has been weird. Let's talk about things we have done in student ministry that maybe fired might be an extreme term.
Maybe, yeah.
Unless you're me. But that might be an extreme term. So maybe just some things we have done in the past that if we could go back and do it over again, we might do it differently. And I'll start.
Got it.
Okay, I'll start just to make it simple on you. So when I like to drive. I think you and I share that.
Yeah, it's a control thing.
It is.
We don't want someone
100%.
else being in charge.
100%.
Not interested in riding with anybody. I don't care who they are.
100%.
Yep.
And so as soon as I turned 25 and I was in youth ministry, I was like, I'm driving every trip we go on. Nobody else is allowed to go on. And so it seems like it was way further back than it was. But right about that time, the smartphone was becoming a thing. And so having Twitter and Facebook and all those things right at your fingertips was very appealing. And so I have a problem with my cell phone.
You don't say.
As you might know, but it's a long-standing issue, and so We were driving home. I had one of our other staff members seated next to me in the van, and she fell asleep. And so, like any normal weird youth pastor, I took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook and was like, I don't remember the probably some, wannabe creative caption. And one of our parents comments while we're driving on the picture. It is like, you can't be texting and driving. Great advice, right? Well, this parent is also the director of our kids ministry. Okay. So it's not good.
Fellow staff member.
Right, yeah. Somebody, I partner with, I work with a lot.
Yep.
And being a punk 25, 26-year-old.
How old are you now?
35. I'm still a punk.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I'm just an older punk. Being 25, 26, I respond and say, no, you got it all wrong. I wasn't texting and driving. I was posting and driving. And that's literally, you can go find a picture on my Facebook. It is still there. Comment still exists. And 10 years later, I'm still pretty embarrassed that was my response. I gotta like one of those like, hey, come to my office moments with my boss. And he's like, hey, in the future, let's just not post and drive. Let's not text and drive. Let's not. I'm like,
way better.
All right, that's a good principle to live by. So
that's my famous phrase, can you pop by and see me?
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like, come on.
Yeah, we all know that
we
when
have something to talk
Ryan
about.
says, can you pop into my office? It's not good. Like, you've done something.
Unless it is. And sometimes it is.
I think I've only had one of those, though, and it was fine. It was just a misunderstanding. We cleared it up. It's no big deal.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you something about me, Matt. Here's something good to know. I'm going to tell you two stories, all right?
Okay.
Number one, this is not a fireable thing necessarily. This is just real dumb. So when I was a youth pastor, I really loved to play gross games. Mm-hmm. Like, I would do anything gross.
I've heard the stories about your legendary.
My gross games, man, they were awesome. And one of my favorite was at Christmas time, we'd have people bob for candy canes and eggnog. That was so great. And we'd bring towels.
Super
they could wipe
COVID
their
friendly,
face.
too.
Yes. This was before COVID. Come on now. So that was really
Ebola
fun.
friendly.
But the one the one that got the most attention though was a game that's actually played by other people at baby showers and whatnot, where you put a candy cane or a candy bar kind of melted into a diaper, and you let it get melted, and you open up the diaper, and you have to taste the candy bar and determine what it was, right? So I did that, and I definitely had a kid that did that and started thinking about what it might have been and threw up right next to the stage, and mom and dad were not happy. So not fireable, but not smart. Now, probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. All right, I'll tell you part of the dumbest thing I've ever done story. I'm not telling you the whole thing because people just don't even know this.
Because Jackson's listening. That's why.
So we had this huge event, and this is like the beginning of social media, right? And so things are really getting fired up and going on social media. So we have an event at Summit Waves. Mm-hmm. And we get there, and everybody's posting on social media, Facebook was that back in the day. They were posting saying, hey, come join us at Summit Waves. We ended up with like 700 or 800 kids at Summit Waves. It was so fun. We rented out. We were the only people there. Well, we had great ideas for entertainment. What we had done is we had sent one of our youth pastors to St. Louis, and he picked up root beer for us to drink.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
Root beer in kegs. Yep. And so we had students posting on Facebook that they were at a kegger at Summit Waves hosted by
So I had one of
our
those.
church.
I had one of those.
Not smart,
Did
Matt.
they play drinking games? Did they play like the prototypical
I don't
college?
want to get into all the details about things that happened.
I'm not going to tell you which ones because we don't want to go into those details. But let's just say we never did that again. And that actually wasn't my decision. I was the guy that went to St. Louis. So somebody above me told me, hey, go get these root beer kegs. It's going to be great. We're going to have these parties.
I'm not taking responsibility for the idea. It was probably my idea. I'm not taking responsibility for the idea, but I was there, and I was definitely a part of that. And, I mean, I probably shouldn't have been fired, but I should have had a stern talking
should have had a better.
to.
So I'll give you a gross one. And this actually wasn't even me. I was just in the room for it. We had a Christmas time again. I don't know why we come up with these stupid games. It's always around Christmas. But we had a can you drink a carton of eggnog in under a minute challenge. And not only could he not, he also couldn't hold what he had consumed down.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that was a special. Probably the dumbest thing I have done. So again, I was driving a van. I don't know why. Maybe I should. Maybe we should always rent buses just for my future at the summit. Let's just never rent vans and never let me drive them because I always seem to make stupid decisions when driving. So we were coming back from a mission trip and we had 2 vans and we had a pickup truck pulling a U-Haul trailer with all of our stuff in it, right? And so my boss was driving the pickup truck, and he had a couple of our students in the pickup truck with him, and I was driving a 15-passenger van full of students, and we're driving down the highway, and you're just, driving down the highway, and my boss decides he's going to pass me. I don't remember what the speed was. It probably wasn't safe. But as he goes by me, the kids had like some sweet tarts, like the big size sweet tarts, right? And they're kind of like if you ever taken a coin and thrown it at glass, they make an obnoxious noise.
They do,
right?
yeah.
So they pull up close enough where he is like pinging these off of my window, right? So whatever. At some point, I get back in front of him, and we had just stopped at Sonic.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah, this is bad. And like I still have nightmares about this because I don't know what I was thinking. But I get far enough in front of him where I've determined, I studied physics, that if I throw this cup out the window up in the air high enough, he's in the left lane, I'm in the right lane, it'll hit right in the center of his windshield. Brilliant thinking on my part. And so that's exactly what I do. And somehow I nailed it. Like I nailed it. And like I have nightmares thinking back to that. Like he's just pulling a trailer. Like if he swerves to miss that cup and is in this median, like
not smart, Matt.
The amount of things that could have happened in that moment, like, and you're wanting to be funny, you're wanting to have fun, we're laughing with the students, whatever. And I just think back and I'm like, what on earth could that have turned into? And so there's a lot of times in trips and things where it's very obvious that Jesus shows up. Like it's just
because nothing bad happens that could have. Yeah,
nothing bad happened. So
I've noticed something.
What's that?
You have a lot more of those stories than I do.
No, I think I'm more open and honest than you are. Is what I think is actually the case.
I don't know. I think you have more stories. And after hearing all these, I think maybe we should wrap this thing up, and you should pop in my office.
It's been great being your youth pastor, guys. No, but here's the honest truth. We do stupid things and funny things in the moment because we love students.
Yep,
because we want to have fun, and we want you guys to know that you can love Jesus and still have a really good time while doing it. And sometimes our sense of humor overrides our common sense.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we want to be a place where you guys feel comfortable and can have fun, and we can laugh, and we can joke, and we can figure out who Jesus is all together.
That's right.
That's really the goal at the end of the day. Is we do crazy things like get root beer kegs, and we do crazy things driving down highways that we should never do, and I won't ever do again, I promise. But all in this name of we want to connect you guys, 7th through 12th graders, with Jesus, because we know what he's done in our lives.
Absolutely.
And we want nothing more than for you guys to know that. So, Ryan, I'm super grateful for you giving us a little bit of time. I know you're super busy.
Yep,
but
glad to do it.
Jumping on. Hopefully, Jackson thinks this is cooler than he thought it was.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Jackson thinks I'm lame. So, it's fine.
So if we get a thumbs down on this YouTube video, we will know
who it was,
where it came from. Well, hey, that's all for us for this week. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with something else cool. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Have a great week, you guys.